This first song, didn't really plan on doing it, but I was desperately looking for Beth's phone number or email so I could figure out how to get here. And I found an old email in which she liked this song. And I do too. I was visiting my mom she was in a retirement area at the time. We were out walking, and we were just walking down the path, and it was quiet, and this nice sun was shining down, and all of a sudden, something was yelling at us. And I started looking around, and sure enough, about 5 feet away on a branch of a tree, hiding behind the leaves, was a squirrel just giving us hell. So I went back to the house with her, and I got some of the first lines of this song. But I had started working, when I left working with Joel, I started working as a social worker with military families kind of all over around the world. At the time, I was working at Camp Pendleton, and I was on my way to work the next day, and this damn song came to me. I had to pull off into a rest area and write it down. It was the song I started with my mom, but it turned into a very different song. It's called the Bluebird Do-Si-Do. Bluebird winging through the sky. I heard her call, she caught my eye. The sun so bright it made me cry. Bluebird winging through the sky. Squirrels screeching in the tree, trying to hide like I don't see. Thinks he'll get the best of me. Squirrels screeching in the tree. Well, I roast that squirrel nice and brown with a piece of bread I found in town. I just grabbed that limb and shook him down. Roast that squirrel nice and brown. Tell that mongrel not to bark. Tell those kittens not to purr. Tell the baby not to cry. You'll see what a fool I were. And I recall our wedding day. Gunny came from far away. The band got too damn drunk to play. Folks kept dancing anyway. But time is like that bird on high, and change is constant as the sky. Always there, but ne'er the same. One day sunny, next day rain. And I left my family yesterday. I just grabbed my sea bag and walked away. Now I got no place to stay. It don't matter anyway. Tell that mongrel not to bark. Tell those kittens not to purr. Tell the children not to play. You'll see what a fool I were. Yeah, and I recall our wedding day, long ago in a war away. The band got too damn drunk to play. Folks kept dancing anyway. Well, fools embrace a rising tide, while bigger fools embrace their pride. Some discover letting go, and some just learn to do-si-do. Bluebird winging through the sky, heard her call, she caught my eye. The sun so bright it made me cry. Bluebird winging through the sky. Thank you. So, after being at Pendleton, I moved up to 29 Palms, another marine area. And I got to kind of live up there during the week, and I was able to drive home on weekends, so I wasn't in Germany or Djibouti or some crazy place I couldn't get home from. And I was out walking after work. Sun was going down, and I was heading back to the house up there in the high desert. And I saw something in the road, and I looked, focused in. It was a little sidewinder crossing the road. So I said, I don't want to scare him, but I want to watch this. So I waited till he got close to the edge, and I ran over there, and I watched to see how far I could watch him go into the desert. And he just disappeared so quick. It was amazing. And I said to myself, that's a song. It was a song, but it didn't come to me about 2 years later. I did Djibouti, and then I went to Germany, and I had this beautiful pastoral living area. And then there comes this sidewalker. So. Sidewinder, sidewinder, where you coming from? I said, sidewinder, sidewinder, where you coming from? Well, I come from under yonder rock, some sun. I come from under yonder rock, just looking for some sun. Well, sidewinder, sidewinder, where you gonna go? I said, sidewinder, sidewinder, where you gonna go? Said, here's a simple truth, boy, you will never know. Here's a simple truth, boy, you will never know. Well, sidewinder, sidewinder, tell me why you strike. I said, sidewinder, sidewinder, tell me why you strike. Well, I strike to survive, boy. Tell me why you strike. I strike to survive, boy. So tell me why you strike. Sidewinder, sidewinder, tell me, are you wise? I said, sidewinder, sidewinder, oh, tell me, are you wise? Well, I can simply shed my skin and clear my cloudy eyes. I can simply shed my skin and clear these scaly eyes. Sidewinder, sidewinder, tell me what is true. I said, sidewinder, sidewinder, tell me what is true. Well, just heed what you say, boy, 'cause it all comes back to you. You gotta heed what you say, boy, 'cause it all comes back to you. Sidewinder, sidewinder, are you free of sin? I said, sidewinder, sidewinder, Are you free of sin? Well, I guess you got me there, boy. Tell me, what is sin? I guess you got me there, boy. Please tell me, what is sin? Side wonder, can you keep me safe? I said, side wonder, can you keep me safe? Well, if you let me in, I can keep you safe. If you'll only let me in, I can keep you safe. Side wonder, will you be my friend? I said, side wonder, will you be my friend? Well, you can count on me, boy, to the very end. You can count on me, boy, to the very end. You can count on me, boy, to the very end. Yeah, you can count on me, boy. Where'd that capo go? Thank you very much. So to speak. They're little guys, but look out. Now, I wrote that song, like I said, in Germany a couple of years after I saw the snake. And I was working with an army unit, cavalry. They fly helicopters and all that. But my lodging was outside of the main town in a little village, and it was on a mill pond, and the housing that we had used to be the old mill workers places, but they fixed them up pretty good. But I wrote this there, so I was on this beautiful lake, and then there's a river that went off into into the fields. I took a lot of walks there. And this was, I'm trying to remember, I think it was probably around 2018. There was a lot of shit going down already by then. And so this is my song. It's called Fly Away. Over this lake every night and early in the morning, both, hundreds or thousands of crows would come to the lake and just revel over the lake, and then they would head into the trees. Especially at night, they went to bed in the trees. But anyway, this is called who cares what it's called? Walking by the riverside, sun burning bright, clouds drifting over like angels taking flight. Crows in the trees watching me go by, trying not to scare them to the sky. I fly away, I fly away. Guess that's what I'm doing here today. Fly away, like a child laying on their back, gazing to the sky. I fly away. No, I don't remember why I came, but boy, glad I did. Air sweet as sorghum, feeling like a kid. and the ground's giving way, softer than a street, like the faces of the dreamers that I meet. Fly away, fly away. I guess that's what I'm doing here today. Fly away, fly away, like a child laying on their back, gazing to the sky. I fly away. Well, I've seen some bitter days of late, hard to understand. Shadows in the light of day that sweep across the land. No one gets along no more, that's the way it seems. And it makes me want to drift into my dreams. Fly away, fly away. I guess that's what I'm doing here today. Fly away, fly away, down by the riverside. Gonna lay my burden down and fly away. Walking by the riverside, sun burning bright, clouds drifting over like angels taking flight. And I'm thinking about those good old days and maybe more ahead. That's the thing that gets me out of bed. Fly away, fly away. That's not all I'm doing here today. Fly away, fly away, like a child laying on their back, gazing to the sky, dreaming about the things they want to try. I fly away, I fly away. That's what I'm doing here today. Fly away, down by the riverside. Gonna lay my burden down and fly away. Thank you. Thanks very much. I'm not sure where I wrote this one. It was either Djibouti or it was Germany. It was right around that time. This was from my wife. We've been married a long time. Watching starlight in your eyes, bending moonbeams into roses. There's no kinder wind than the one that brings you near. Lacing your arm into mine, leaning in against the weather. Taking comfort in the warmth that brings a tear. There is no other place to be, nothing else we should be doing. It's a simple thought, I know, don't mean it isn't true. Time will find us by and by, but for now we are escaping. Being here, tasting life and making do. Coming home, the door's locked, fishing for the key now. Where's that damn thing? Hard to find sometimes, hard to get the damn thing in. needs attention, I suppose. We can fix it in the morning. When the light is better and we've got some coffee in. Starlight lingers in your eyes like a memory of a moment. Windows open, scent of jasmine drifting through. There is no other place to be, nothing else we should be doing. Being here, tasting life and making do. In the morning when the sun reaches out to far horizons, pouring life into the soil as it's sometimes said to do. Will it give a single thought to the magic it's performing? Being here, turning old back into new. There is no other place to be, nothing else we should be doing. It's a simple thought, I know, don't mean and is it true? Time will find us by and by, but for now we are eloping. Being here, tasting life and passing through. Being here, tasting life and making do. Thank you very much. Got one more here for you. This is the title song of my fourth CD. I got 4 CDs. Sleepwalker in Parsidy, Sleepwalker in boy. Anyway, this song is called Friend of the Sky. Well, I got this hat and I got these shoes. I got my dreams, any dream I choose. The days are long, but the weather's fine. Rain or shine, when you just don't mind. Friend of the sky, home of the sun, would you bring the night when the day is done? Will you bring those blue skies when I'm feeling blue? Be a friend to me, I'll be a friend to you. It's a funny world, spinning round and around. It flies through space, never makes no sound. If If it was a jet plane, you could hear it sing, but it's like an owl on a silent wing. Friend of the sky, home of the moon, would you bring the rain? Could you bring it soon? Will you bring that lightning and the thunder too? Be a friend to me, I'll be a friend to you. Well, I got this heart, and I got these sleeves, and I got this love. I hope she never leaves. I got some big plans, but they all fall through. Still, I got my way of getting back to you. Friend of the sky, home of the sun, would you bring me hope when the dawn has come? Will you bring those roses in the evening sky? Be a friend to you till the day I die. Friend of the moon, friend of the sun, would you bring me peace when my race is run? Will you bring sweet memories of the love so true? Be a friend to me, I'll be a friend to you. Be a friend to me, I'll be a friend to you. Be a friend to me, be a friend to you. Thank you very much, and thanks for coming out and supporting this wonderful thing that the Woods are doing. And thanks. Bye.
That was Siege. That was just great. Now we're going to have Siege actually talk to Steve, and then we're going to have set up for Joel Raphael. And I think Siege and Joel both have CDs out there, you know, and they're really, really good CDs. So just saying.
Siege,
Steve,
great to see you, my friend.
good to see you too.
You know, of course, I'm really amazingly fascinated by what you're doing with your life. And
So's my wife.
well, you know, I mean, it's interesting because I'm thinking to myself, what kind of a person would go into the business? Well, I can't call it a business, like music. It's not really a business. But this thing that you do where you help people. And, you know, I was watching you play up there, and I thought to myself, there's just such a solid, quiet, peaceful, sort of happy thing that happens from you. And first of all, I don't know how you still have that going after all this time. But
Well, I've taken some acting lessons.
you what?
Acting lessons.
Oh, acting lessons. No, there's more to it than that. But what drove you to the social work that you do in the first
You know,
place?
I really don't know. I got out of high school a year early and went to community college for a couple of years as a music major, dropped out, joined a rock and roll band. And me and the bass player stuck through three bands. We got one out, we had an album on United Artists and one on CBS Sony and one on another label I can't remember. But and that was like a 12-year run of just playing rock and roll. And I turned 30, and they wanted to borrow money and make a video and get on the TV. And I said, hell no. And I quit. But during that time, you know, I'd picked grapes and worked as a ranch hand and painter and all kinds of craziest stuff. And when I thought about what else I might do, I always had this idea of doing counseling with kids for some reason, and I don't know why. I never got counseling as a kid, and but that was kind of back there. So when I dropped out of the music, I decided to become a clinical social worker, and I did that. And I knew I wanted to do private practice, but I wanted to know what the hell I was dealing with, so I went to work in psychiatric hospitals. And I did that for a long time before I finally went into private practice. and working with couples and individuals and children and all that. But somewhere in there, Joel called me, as he had before a few times, and wanted to get together and do some music with me. So while I was doing the social work, I'd had a 12-year run with Joel. We made 5 CDs with the Joel Raphael Band. But I was still doing social work. I was still in private practice. I was part of a group. One day, the phone rang, and the guy that dished out the cases to people came to me and said, "Carl, how would you like to go to Germany for a month and work with the army?" And I was a conscientious objector back in the Vietnam days. But I said, "Oh, well, let me ask a family." I came back the next day and said, "Sure." And I went, and it was just captivating. It was families. It was this was all army in the beginning, but people were overseas, and they had just had their soldiers down in Iraq for a whole year, and the day they were supposed to come back, they were told, no, they've been extended from 4 or 6 months. Ugh. And so people were pretty distraught. So I did that, and I did it again, and then I did it again, and then my clients started saying, "How often are you going to do this?" and I decided to commit to it. And it's the most diverse population I've ever found anywhere.
And who hires you? I mean, as an independent person, how does that work?
It started out as a pilot program. The Office of the Secretary of Defense reached out to an insurance company, and they pulled together people, and I was one of them, the first ones, 20. And it was a successful intervention as far as they were concerned, and it's turned into a huge thing now, all branches all over the world and all this stuff. I got lost on your question.
No, I was just wondering who hires you. I mean, how
Yeah.
do you get brought into this? And like, Joel calls and says, "Hey, you want to be a band?" Sure.
Yeah.
I know how that works, because that's my bailiwick.
What happened? They wanted 20 people.
Uh-huh.
And this was coming from the top. So they went to a large insurance company who reached out to their smaller underlings, and they reached out to large pods of services who reached out to a level of provider groups that would actually know people personally.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And 20 of us got to go.
Okay.
And I just lucked out.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'd love to just interview you about this whole thing, because it's just fascinating to me, and I just can't even imagine the experiences you have. I mean, we're all living here in the beautiful bubble, Southern California.
well, I can tell you I've got 4 CDs, and they're tied into my work.
Okay.
Because the first one, I was working in Hawaii when I got embraced by a Hawaiian musician who had me playing on his brakes while I was doing the social work. And so I did that first album. It was kind of Hawaiian gauged, and the next one was for Clovis, New Mexico, and the next one was kind of a Marines thing, and the next one was Friends of the Sky, and I don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Are they here? Are they here?
The CDs?
Yes, I have copies of them if anyone wants to.
I do.
Leave with them.
Yeah, okay.
And it's a thrill for me to be here with Joel tonight. We had a long run together, and it's really good to see him, and it'll be good to hear him again here.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming. And, it's one of those things where, I have this recollection of going to high school reunions and talking to somebody, and then eventually I go, oh, now I remember, I didn't like this person. But it was the opposite with you.
Well, I'll tell you here, one last story. We actually met. I was 2 years younger when it matters. I was in about 8th grade, and there was a competition at the high school. Yeah, huh? A hootenanny, but it was a competition too, and my brother was older, so we went and we played, and Joel's band won.
Oh.
But
Well,
after that, I was young, and so I wasn't that connected. But he would call me. Our parents knew each other to get together and do demos and stuff together. He beat me
Well, now revenge is best served cold, and it's pretty chilly by now. So if you're thinking about it, it could be the time.